to Starry Tarot. Again, I am in the desert, so I'm using my iPad. I'm not using my traditional setup here, but it doesn't prevent us from doing amazing things. Just gonna give it a sec here. Wow. Interesting. Well, hello, and welcome everybody. Good to see you. Welcome to Starry Tarot. My name is Sophie. I am a tarot reader. Sorry about the fly. And I can answer any of your questions that you may have, with the exception of medical and or legal questions. I answer questions of all types. Of course, I offer romantic advice. I also answer spiritual questions pertaining to career, finances. But yeah, just no medical or legal questions. Please consult a professional for that. I am using the most adorable Little Stars deck today. I found this on Etsy a little while ago. Hello, Chantel. Welcome, Chantel. Hi, Mukesh. Welcome. I hope y'all are doing great today. I am going to summon Nightbot. So all my donation information can be found, well, I guess not at the top of the chat, but throughout the chat it can definitely be found, and it can also be found in the body of the video. Let's see what command. There we go. So yes, now it is pinned at the top of the chat, all of my donation information, and it's also found in the information of the live stream as well. I am also a psychic medium. I provide mediumships. I did one actually a little earlier today. If that is something that you are indeed interested in, please let me know beforehand so I can double check and make sure that I can that I'm able to communicate with the particular person in question. I also offer past life regression readings. Those are very, very fascinating. I don't know how familiar those of you out there are with past life regression. It's something I've been studying, past life regression therapy. I've been studying it for many, many years. And I've essentially developed my own version of my variation of past life regression utilizing tarot. I don't know if I'm the only one in the world who has done this, but I'm sure I'm not. I have yet to find another either past life regression specialist or tarot reader who does that, but I do offer that. I also provide soulmate confirmations, and those come in a variety of different formats. It doesn't have to just be a confirmation, like per se. Hi Teresa, welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you today, love? Good to see you. Yeah, my soulmate readings don't necessarily be us asking spirit directly, you know, is so and so a soulmate in your life, or is, you know, we could also ask them if they, I mean, we can ask it in that context. We can ask what person or what purpose this particular person serves in your life. We can ask your spirits if they give their blessing. We can ask it in a variety of different contexts, but it's just a good way to check in and get some extra confirmation regarding someone's place in your life and if they belong there or not, or if they do, what purpose do they serve, and how spirit sees that. Good, I made it a weird little YouTube short today. You did? Why is it weird? I'll have to go check it out. Not because you said it's weird. I'm gonna check it out just because. What else? For those of you who are interested in asking about a particular person, and it doesn't have to be in a romantic context necessarily, although a lot of people do like to use it for a romantic purpose, but the thoughts, feeling, intention spread, it answers essentially all three questions in one. I get their general energies and your general energies in the connection, and it's at no additional donation amount. It's just a suggestion for a type of reading if that is something, if any of those questions are on your mind regarding another person right now. And I also offer private readings. I offer different types. I offer them by appointment only, and they're one-on-one over Zoom, just me and you, and you can answer as many questions as you need and pull as many cards as you need to answer the question or questions. I really recommend private readings for everybody, but especially for those who are dealing with something that's particularly a little more complex, or something that's really multifaceted, has a lot of different aspects to it that might need to be addressed with certain amounts of context or backstory. But it just allows us to get deep there and figure things out. I also offer private readings offline at no additional donation amount. If you have something that, if you're dealing with something that requires more discretion that you don't want to ask on my live stream, or if I'm offline and you have a question that you need to have answered within 24 hours, just send me your donation and I will return to you at the very latest in 24 hours. I can usually get back to you within about 2 or 3 at the latest. So I always have a deck of cards on me. And I do those over DM or Instagram via voice memos, as well as typed over email. So those are options as well. So I believe that is my spiel. So the queue is currently open. Whoever donates first will be next. And if you are watching this live stream, please be a lovely friend and remember to click the like button. It really helps me out. Thank you. One moment here. Hi, Debbie. Thank you so much for your donation, girl. How are you doing today? Does Robbie know that Mariella has been lying to him about me? Okay, I don't know who Robbie is, and I don't know who Mariella is. What is Robbie's... Girl, you're ahead of the game. Thank you. Answer my question. Are you psychic? Angels, masters, and spirit guides. Does Robbie know that Mariella has been lying to him about Debbie? Angels, masters, and spirit guides. Does Robbie know Mariella has been lying to him about Debbie? Angels, masters, and spirit guides. Does Robbie know Mariella has been lying to him about Debbie? Angels, masters, and spirit guides. Does Robbie know that Mariella has been lying to him about Debbie? Angels, masters, and spirit guides. Does Robbie know that Mariella has been lying to him about Debbie? Angels, masters, and spirit guides. Does Robbie know that Mariella has been lying to him about Debbie? Angels, masters, and spirit guides. Does Robbie know that Mariella has been lying to him about Debbie? Angels, masters, and spirit guides. Does Robbie know that Mariella has been lying to him about Debbie? Angels, masters, and spirit guides. Does Robbie know that Mariella has been lying to him about Debbie? Angels, masters, and spirit guides. Does Robbie know that Mariella has been lying to Debbie? Page of Swords, 10 of Cups reversed. Are these family members? 5 of Wands, Temperance reversed, and Queen of Cups reversed. My answer is yes. My answer is yes. He's well aware. And you mentioned that they're both Tauruses. I don't know if I've ever said this, or if you've ever heard me say this about Tauruses. I love Tauruses. Tauruses are great. But hi, Lorraine, welcome. That they can, some of them are very good at lying. They're bulls. Yes. I've met a lot of Tauruses and it's like they can just lie through their teeth, and I know they're both Tauruses, and I'm not speaking for every single Taurus, but that was one of the first things that popped in my head when you mentioned they were both Tauruses. But he picks up on the BS. He cuts through it. The Page of Swords cuts through the BS. That's one of the big things. That's actually one of like the major like definitions of this card, is cutting through BS. And these family members of yours, because this 10 of Cups, that I asked because of this 10 of Cups reversed usually signifies some kind of disharmony, as does this 5 of Wands. Conflict, disharmony, some kind of it doesn't have to be competition, but some kind of conflict and disharmony, and perhaps the reason why she is saying untrue things about you is out of some kind of competitive or covetous. She lies like a rug. Yeah, absolutely. I can sense that, and I feel like he's aware of that. And with this Temperance reverse, it's like whatever is being like said to him, whatever is being like expressed, flown towards him, flowing towards him, he's not buying it. And I don't know what your feelings are when it comes to that. If you feel like Robbie is trusting her and taking what she says at face value, or if he's cutting through the BS. I think he's cutting through the BS. I think he can see it. I think he knows her well enough and knows you well enough to identify, to sniff it out, you know? And especially with this Queen of Cups reversed, you know, you being in a very, the matriarchal position in your family, it's the things that she's saying are pretty hard, are hard to believe in this place, but especially hard to believe just with your character and him knowing your character. Yeah, I'm not happy that someone is speaking badly or saying untrue things about you behind your back to somebody else. That's no bueno. But I am happy to see that it does look that he very much does not trust any of this. I just think she wants my life. I get that. It feels covetous, Debbie. Yeah, it feels covetous. And I used that tone. I wasn't quite positive, but I do feel some kind of jealousy. Yeah. It feels like it stems from a place of jealousy and feeling like perhaps she could get the upper hand if she were to say certain things. So I think you're right on the money there. I did pick up on some of that. And I don't always like to assert that at first. I kind of like to, hear a little bit more before I make that determination. But absolutely, because I was trying to think, like, why would someone do that? Okay, some people just lie and gossip just to spread lies and gossip. Okay, but I don't feel like that's the case here. I feel like there is some ulterior motive here. This Five of Wands and Ten of Cups reversed, wreaking havoc and creating disharmony, not just for the sake of doing so, but with an intent, with some kind of self-serving intent. You sent a donation, Teresa. I almost called you Dorisa. Does that mean I want Doritos? Thank you so much for your donation, Teresa. Thank you for letting me know. I didn't see it at first. No, I didn't dye my hair, but I cut it, Lorraine. Maybe that's why it looks different. I got a haircut on Tuesday. It's always been the same color. Might have gotten a little lighter, just being in the sun, but I do plan on doing it a little bit darker. So yeah, in conclusion, Debbie, my answer is yes. Yes, he is fully aware of the fact that she is not telling the truth, and is just not buying it. Was good. I don't think that he's buying into it at all. I don't think that he's taking any of it into account. She's just not a trustworthy source. You're very welcome, Debbie. You are so welcome. Thank you very, very much for your donation, as always. Miss Teresa, please go ahead and post your question right there in the chat. Thank you. What can I do to improve my services on YouTube? Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides. What can Teresa do to improve her services on YouTube? Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides. What can Teresa do to improve her services on YouTube? Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides. What can Teresa do to improve her services on YouTube? Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides. What can Teresa do to improve her services on YouTube? Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides. What can Teresa do to improve her services on YouTube? Masters and Spirit Guides, what can Teresa do to improve her services on YouTube? Masters and Spirit Guides, what can Teresa do to improve her services on YouTube? Masters and Spirit Guides, what can Teresa do to improve her services on YouTube? Masters and Spirit Guides, what can Teresa do to improve her services on YouTube? Masters and Spirit Guides, what can Teresa do to improve her services on YouTube? Seven of Swords, Judgment reversed, Nine of Pentacles reversed, the World, and the Devil. Now, you fellow tarot reader, most of us watching right now, we know any little thing about tarot, we know about the infamous Seven of Swords card. Now, there's a couple of ways that there's the standard way we can look at that card, which is cheating, lies, deception, betrayal, deceit, which Spirit is not encouraging you to do. if Spirit is encouraging you to Seven of Swords something, you may be aware of the other way of looking at the Seven of Swords, which is a fly of a man, is being very, very plucky, doing whatever is necessary to accomplish what you need to accomplish. And I think in this case, my personal opinion, when it comes to that, I think it comes to moving outside of the comforts of your own boundaries. And by that I mean more specifically not being afraid to perhaps offer more services, because you get, I mean, that one reading that you suggested to me, or that you did for me, or no, you suggested it to me. It was like 5 different columns of 3. Offering that, giving that a name, and offering that on your menu for like $10 or something. That is worth, that many cards is worth that. That would not be charging an outrageous amount, even for a new reader. And you're not a new reader, you're just new to YouTube. But offering, I think that would be a great way to boost things, because I think you could really, like, because that's something I really want to do, is come up with more specialized stuff, because I find that I notice other readers who are a more specified menu, especially if it comes to matters of like love, we all know is very popular. People really like those. Offering people what they don't know what they want. Does that make sense? That can often be very, very fruitful. It is going to take time with this 9 of Pentacles reverse. It's not going to take forever. There are going to be times, as there are now, where things may feel a little stagnant or slow at first, but then there's going to be other times where there's going to be much busier times. Sorry, I'm just getting some clarification on a couple of these cards. Give me a moment here. I was gonna say, why did I even open the book? I know what this Judgment reverse is about. It's about self-doubt, which can be harder to push through. And I'm not saying that you doubt yourself, but you may doubt yourself in terms of your view and your worth and what you feel is appropriate in asking for donation amount wise. I believe you know your worth as a tarot reader. It's delineating your value that can be difficult. Putting a monetary hello, Queen of Swords, welcome. Putting a monetary value on it, which is what I think you know. That's one way that I know not the only way that you want to see your tarot channel improve. It's not just that you just want to see it make more money. I know there's more to it than that. You also want, you know, a build in community and whatnot. And I do see that happening with the World card. I see 2 things. More people coming to your channel, and there just being more involvement, more interaction. That's part of, I mean, that's one thing that I love about my channel is the people on my channel. But also collaboration. It doesn't have to be with me, but collaboration with other readers, with the Devil card. I think that aligning yourself with other readers is absolutely going to be fruitful for you. You've just been doing free readings and asking for tips. See, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't ask for tips. I would also suggest what I suggested the other night, which was what I used to say. If you don't want to wait, donate. You know, if you want your reading now, or if you or if you want your reading now, or if there's a specific type of reading that you like offer bigger, longer, more thorough readings at a price point. There's certain readings that are not for free. You know, like the reading that suggested that I do, I wouldn't offer that for free at all. And you shouldn't offer it for free. And the fact that you created that, copyright you, You shouldn't offer that for. Don't give it away. Okay, just it's really important. That's one of my favorite sayings is don't give it away. Don't work for free. You know, there's such a thing as like internships and, you know, establishing yourself and having to do that, but I think that, in which you are doing, you know, offering free readings, but I think that if you offered those other type of readings, those more in-depth readings that, you know, that you showed to me, I know I would definitely spend money on that if you know, like if I saw a reader offer that I liked, you know, I think that would be a really good thing too. I don't, and I'm sure you have many other. Oh, sorry, there's a fly in here. I'm sure you have many other types and varieties of readings that you offer as well. Hey Deb, welcome, love. How are you doing? And thank you so much, Teresa, for your donation. I really appreciate you, and absolutely, I hope it was helpful, and I believe in you. I really do, and if I felt that there was no, you know, no future in this, I would tell you, but I that's just not what I'm seeing. But it is a tough road, and it has become more tough than it was, I'd say, maybe 4 years ago when I started. But it is still absolutely doable, 100%. Especially with you, you've got a real talent for sure. Hey Deb, how's it going? And how are you, Lorraine? Sorry, y'all. I just have to put my hair up. I'm okay, love. Looking for full-time work and staying hopeful, to be honest. Yeah, you'll find something. I'll have to talk to you offline about other stuff later. Take care now. You too, Teresa. Here I am. So the queue is currently open. Whoever is next to my donation, will be next to be read. It might not be on for terribly long tonight because I do kind of want to go on a little walk around the desert. Well, it's not, but when it cools off. I don't know if you're still there, Lorraine. But did you have that interview that you were gonna go to? I feel like you probably did this a little while ago. Had a few, been hustling, having interviews. Tomorrow would be my 4th, and I have an interview for an office position. Congratulations! Congratulations, girl. That's great. You hope something full time. To be honest, yeah. Or I mean, like, fingers crossed, yeah, something full time. Would you want to manage? Would you be able to manage 2 part-time jobs, or is that kind of chaotic? Cancerian, welcome. Thank you. I don't want to have work a full-time or part-time together, but if needed, I would. Full and part-time at the same time would be a lot. That would be a lot, Lorraine. But two part-times wouldn't be too bad. Yeah, Cancerian, if you would like your question answered, all my donation information can be found at the top of the chat. Thank you. So I got a part-time offer at the airport, 20 hours, and I'm thinking about getting another part-time just to cover my expenses, but not sure how that would work. I can do it temporarily. Yeah, because you wouldn't want, long-term burnout or anything, because, like, long term that would be pretty hard, but I'm sure, you know, maybe just during the whole season or something like that. I have no doubt you have the strength for sure to do that. My rent is $1,200 a month. My bills are another $1,000, so I hope it works out. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, just keep searching, girl. I know you'll find something. I know you'll find something. You're so vigilant and motivated, and you know, it doesn't happen overnight, as you know, but as long as you stay, you know, keep on keeping on, you'll find something, love. I just want to make sure I can pay my rent. That's all I care about. No, you're fine. I hear you. I hear you. You're fine, love. You're fine. Yeah. No, I totally understand. Yeah. Hey Jessica, how are you? I trust Spirit will provide. Yes, you will. Absolutely, absolutely. And you are so determined and capable. Oh, I do, Jessica. Yeah, thank you. Ew, you guys. So you know I work for that other psychic site. I just got a really gross review. I know exactly who it was too. She didn't like the fact that I told her that her boyfriend didn't want to talk to her anymore. And I even told her why I knew that, not just from the cards, but from what she was telling me. She just left a review saying, really sweet woman, but really terrible tarot reader. I felt like I was getting a tarot lesson on YouTube. I'm like, girl, you asked me if he was gonna reach out to you again. It said 8 of Wands reversed. I told her he wasn't gonna reach her again. She didn't like it. So I was like, okay, here's why. Right? This is what I'm telling you about this other site. And you can't defend yourself. It's ridiculous. Like, and it's always, if I had told her, hey, he's gonna call you next week, that wouldn't have happened. If it had been 8 of Wands upright and I'd been like, hey, he's gonna call you next week, I'm gonna tell you why. Because of this card, she wouldn't have left that. Anyway, be how they want to be, and I can't do anything about it. But I knew she was gonna leave a nasty rating, a nasty review, because it was over audio, and I could tell she was like not satisfied with the answer. And I was like, you know, so I was explaining, people who read reviews know there's always going to be someone who gets the truth they don't like and leave a bad review. I know, totally, absolutely. When I see it, that's why it doesn't bother me that much, because I see it with the other tarot readers. Like, it happened, like, even with the very, very top ones, it happens to them as well. And it's always, there's just totally unhinged people that are not in touch with reality. That's a big one. There's some people that sound totally cuckoo. And I felt it when I was talking to her. Like, I was just like, so she asked, like, basically, like, is he going to reach out to me again? It was like, no, we can look at the whole picture too. Like, so I did the thoughts, feelings, and intention spread. Like, has no intentions of doing so. She said she broke up with him because she felt that they shouldn't be together and that they were living two different lives. I'm like, okay. Why would a man call a woman back after she told him that? Like, that's another thing too, but just saying. But that's a really good point, Jessica. I mean, hey, I could just lie, right? I could just blow smoke at people's bums, but I don't. That's not what I'm here for. Where? Thank you so much, Jessica. Thank you, love. Did you want 2 questions or did you want a 10 card reading? Just one. You got it, love. You got it. No problem. No rush. It's okay. It's okay, love. Why doesn't Bria speak to you? Bria's... Who's Bria again? Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides. Why doesn't Bria speak to Jessica? Ancient messages and spirit guides. Why doesn't Bria speak to Jessica? This happened several times. What happened yesterday? Didn't say one word, but her arms go to grab my baby. Ancient messages and spirit guides. She's Patrick's friend and they work together. Ancient messages and spirit guides. Why doesn't Bria speak to Jessica? Ancient messages and spirit guides. Why doesn't Bria speak to Jessica? Ancient messages and spirit guides. Why doesn't Bria speak to Jessica? Ancient messages and spirit guides. Why doesn't Bria speak to Jessica? Ancient messages and spirit guides. Why doesn't Bria speak to Jessica? Ancient messages and spirit guides. Why doesn't Bria speak to Jessica? Ancient messages and spirit guides. Why doesn't Bria speak to Jessica? Ancient messages and spirit guides. Why doesn't Bria speak to Jessica? Ancient messages and spirit guides. Why doesn't Bria speak to Jessica? Ancient messages and spirit guides. Why doesn't Bria speak to Jessica? Ancient messages and spirit guides. Why doesn't Bria speak to Jessica? Ancient messages and spirit guides. Why doesn't Bria speak to Jessica? Ancient messages and spirit guides. Why doesn't Bria speak to Jessica? Ancient messages and spirit guides. Why doesn't Bria speak to Jessica? Queen of Cups, the Magician, Ten of Swords reversed, Five of Swords reversed, Seven of Wands reversed, the Wheel of Fortune reversed, Seven of Cups, Six of Swords reversed, Ten of Wands reversed, and Eight of Cups reversed. She doesn't say a word to you, but she just goes and grabs your baby. And she's a friend of Patrick's. Six of Swords reversed, Eight of Cups reversed, the Wheel of Fortune reversed. I know I don't have my card cam here, but these are all cards of someone not moving forward. I don't know I know they're friends. I don't know what their history is, but something's telling me, especially let's just start here with this Queen of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune reversed. I think that she has some kind of affection for him. That was probably, maybe it was, a good possibility here, girl. It could have been unrequited. It never went anywhere. Yet she still holds on tightly to his friendship in some kind of limerence, like believing like that, it's not even limerence, it's more like she'll have him in any capacity in her life. Yeah, she that she has had a crush on him for a very long time, and I wouldn't be surprised if they never dated. Exactly, he's not attracted to her, but I'm sure you've seen this happen with men and women, where they have a crush on one and they know that all they can get is friendship, so they'll take it either in the hopes that it'll grow, which doesn't happen very often at all, or, well, I'd rather have them in my life in some capacity than in no capacity, And I don't know how long they've been friends for, and it seems like she really wants love and stability. Yeah. Kristen, how are you? Hey, long time no see. Yeah, he's the whole package for her. He's got it all in her mind, but the thing is, he already does have it all. He has you, and he has Carter now. Hi Sheena, I could, if you were interested in a mediumship, this is my mediumship information. I would need to check to make sure I can get into contact with your aunt before, but this is all my mediumship information. Thank you, Sheena. I'm good. My son got married Saturday, so my summer was crazy. Oh, congrats to your son. Yeah, so Jessica, she sees him as like the complete package, and she's still, I think this is more of a limerence thing, which is really diluted. I mean, he's got a kid, he's moving on, and he has been moving on with his life, but she still holds on to this wish, this lost wish, that they can possibly, that they would one day have something. Yeah, she can't move on. Six of Swords reversed, despite the fact that there was never anything to begin with of a romantic nature. 10 of Swords reversed. And this is nuts, that she also can't process, that nothing became of it, that it never resulted in anything, but she can't just accept it and move forward. She can't accept defeat. 5 of Swords reversed. That's another one. 5 of Swords. When you get what you want from a situation, you can't accept the defeat. You can't accept the loss. She can't let go of the feelings of I'll be honest, they're heavy feelings. I think I'm guessing that she dates and she has boyfriends and stuff, but I feel like at the end of the day, they're just place markers. She is dating. It's bordering on an unhealthy connection, and that's a huge assertion for me to make. She's not a threat. I mean, I can tell you that. Patrick's never. If it didn't happen in the past, it isn't going to happen now. She's of no threat. The fact that she does remain friends and she can be respectful towards you, that's the problem. And then she ends up picking the worst guys. Yeah. And what, can you repeat that last part? Oh, that you have nothing to worry about. You have nothing to worry about with him and her. He's never gonna step out on you with her, and it's not gonna happen. But there is something borderline unhealthy. Before that, I wish I could remember. She feels like she's lost out. She feels like she can't move on. Yeah, it's nothing that you have to worry about, but it's just unhealthy for her. I mean, I don't know how long they've been friends for, but I don't know how this friendship is serving her, and she's got to be at least respect you. Yeah, please do, and I'm happy to go over anything for many years. Yeah, I mean, she's got to be at least respectful to you. Just like going for the baby, that's so strange. Yeah, it never came to be, and it never will. Hi, Wendy. You did? Oh, thank you so much. And oh my gosh, we also got a donation from Kristen to Wendy. Thank you, love. So let me go ahead and update this. Yeah, she can't move on. Hey, Charles, welcome. And I'm a little confused about this last one, the 7 of Wands reverse. What's going on here? Denial. She's in denial, girl. 7 of Wands reverse is one being in denial. The thing is, he doesn't even bring her up anymore because he thinks I don't like her because this happened before when she was talking inappropriately. Oh, I do. She's that one. Okay. So he set great boundaries after that. Good. I remember that now. She is a little bit of a vulgar Veronica, shall we say. Yeah, no bueno, no good. Around your baby, come on. And then, I don't know, I think you mentioned she was kind of talking like one of the boys, or thinking like she was just like one of the boys. It's not very becoming, but who am I to judge? Yeah. And perhaps talk to Patrick about it again. Be like, dude, well, I know you don't call him, to be like, hey, you do see this, right? If you haven't already talked to him about it, you do recognize this, right? When she comes over, she doesn't even say hi to me, and I'm sure he'll be on your team there. Thank you again, love. Thank you so much. Oh, what just happened there? There we go. All right, Miss Kristen. Kristen, thank you so much for your donation, love. And you just wanted the OG. Sorry about that. Yes, it is. It is so pretty here. I'm out in the desert right now. But I said no. Oh, wait, he wasn't in the office. But I told him, and he immediately asked if I wanted her. But I said no because it's not worth it. Yeah, when the time's right. You know, if it, you know, when it comes, if it comes to that, you know. But she's nothing to worry about. But it's still unpleasant. I understand. Kristen, you wanted the OG reading on Mr. Brad, right? Oh yeah, all right. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what are Brad's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Kristen? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what are Brad's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Kristen? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what are Brad's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Kristen? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what are Brad's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Kristen? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what are Brad's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Kristen? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what are Brad's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Kristen? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what are Brad's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Kristen? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what are Brad's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Kristen? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what are Brad's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Kristen? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what are Brad's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Kristen? Sorry about that. Alright, let's see. We have Knight of Cups, 9 of Cups reversed, 7 of Pentacles reversed, 10 of Cups reversed, and the Star. Okay, so general energies on your end, starting with the Knight of Cups. He is your knight in shining armor. We know this. He's the object of your affections. He's the one that you want. He's the one you wake up thinking about. He's the one you go to bed thinking about. He's the one that's on your mind. He's the object of your affections. His general energies, we have the Star. Looking at the thoughts, feelings, and intentions that I'm about to read about, this to me is signifying more the healing aspect of the Star card, the more illuminatory aspect of this card, seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. He's also an Aquarius. This is Aquarius card. But I don't feel like they're necessarily rough between the two of you right now, but I'm still getting this sense that there's stuff going on in his personal life that's not super awesome for him. His thoughts towards you, we have the 9 of Cups reversed. He doesn't think that you are satisfied in this connection right now. If things have still not progressed in the realm of satisfaction, it might have to do with that. his feelings at this time, we have the Seven of Pentacles reversed. He does recognize that there has been progress has been made, there has been slow, steady growth between the two of you, but that it has taken a while. He is hoping that this is just temporary, that this is just a matter of external circumstances affecting him from being the man he wants to be towards you. His intentions right now, I think this Ten of Cups reversed says a whole lot there. Until he's stable, until he's feeling confident in taking care of himself and being on his own, and being like and again enabling him to be the man he wants to be towards you, until he's able to get to that point, growth has been put on a standstill in terms of moving in that harmonious emotionally fulfilling connection that he knows you want, and I know that he wants. But there's just so much to say about his issues with his ego and his divine masculine, the physical aspect of that, which we don't need to get into, and the financial aspect. He's not feeling like I don't want to say it like this, but he feels like a loser. He does. He doesn't feel like, he feels like like if this was a few years ago or like 10 years ago, you would have met a different man. And it's not that he doesn't like the man he's become or the man that he is, but he feels like this is temporary. He wants it to be temporary. And he's just one of those people who would rather not be with someone until they actually feel like they've gotten their things together, because they have a lot of pride, and that's a Aquarius thing too. I I've definitely been familiar with that, and I know it's a lot for, oftentimes more so for men. Oh, thank you. You're so welcome, Kristen. You're very welcome, love. And yeah, I hope that Seven of Pentacles goes upright soon and things, get better for him and obviously for the two of you, because that's what I see is like, yeah, once things get better for him and he's feeling all right with himself and feeling stable, like he can, treat you and take you out and he's got that masculine, like, provider mindset, and he's got that mindset, but he doesn't have the ability. And until he's got that ability, don't be such a stranger now. I'm glad this wedding is over. I thought I saw some pictures. I was briefly on it. I saw you posted a couple of beautiful pictures, but I wanted to actually look at them and read the captions before I click anything. But I'll have to go check those out, love. And I'm so, congratulations to your son. That is so lovely. That's so wonderful. Miss Wendy, thank you, Wendy, for your donation. Please go ahead and post your question right there in the chat. Thank you. The director of my that next month is make or break for our cash flow. Can you look into my job security? Yeah. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what does Wendy's job security look like over the next month? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what does Wendy's job security look like over the next month? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what does Wendy's job security look like over the next month? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what does Wendy's job security look like over the next month? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what does Wendy's job security look like over the next month? Next message here, guys. What does Wendy's job security look like over the next month? Next message in spirit guides. What does Wendy's job security look like over the next month? Next message in spirit guides. What does Wendy's job security look like over the next month? Next message in spirit guides. What does Wendy's job security look like over the next month? Next message in spirit guides. What does Wendy's job security look like over the next month? Strength reversed. The Wheel of Fortune reversed. Ten of Swords. Five of Pentacles. And Knight of Cups. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look great, Wendy. Let's just start with strength reversed. I like it. Them even saying, you know, that the next month is going to be like make or break, is enough to worry about. If this special project failed, and the one that you've been working on over the past few months. And I feel like it's with the strength reverse card. I feel like it's like they're going to be putting a lot of work upon you, and a lot of pressure on you, and and you may get to some kind of a breaking point here, or a point where you're like, where you feel like you may need to like take a step back and leave yourself. Yep, that big one with Samuel. Gotcha. Because we do have an ending here with this Ten of Swords, something coming to an end. It could be the project coming to completion, but we do also have this Five of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles is being like shunned, kicked out, kicked to the curb, left out in the cold, abandoned. But that could also be Samuel leaving. You could see feelings of that. You know, it could go both ways, because we do have this Knight of Cups here at the end, and this is when we're talking about career and work, we need to observe it. Well, I mean, there is some romance involved at your work, and within this project, things didn't take off with Samuel and you and Samuel, but there was something there. There was an element of romance, and but usually when I see this Knight of Cups in terms of career, it's more, it's like finding a creative solution to leaving, to walking away, getting away on your horse and riding on out of there. Like, I don't feel like you're gonna get the sack. I feel like you're gonna want to leave. There's something about this that's really gonna make you want to leave. Sorry, there's a fly around me. Because I sense there's just a lot of pressure that's like way more pressure than you've normally had put upon you is going to be put upon you. Yeah, Ten of Swords, like 10 swords just like coming out from nowhere and like hitting the floor around you. I think that you're gonna get fired, Wendy. I already feel that need to leave. I feel like my days are numbered. I was thinking that too. I mean, you were kind of low-key wanting to leave. We were talking about it a lot more earlier this year, different strategies that you had about leaving, you know, saving your PTO, and getting out of Dodge, different strategies for leaving, because they don't want to fire you. And that's, and I keep on getting that message here is like, I don't think they're going to sack you. They're just going to make your life hell until you leave. That's what a lot of these businesses do. They're just going to make it harder and harder and harder. They won't get rid of you, but they'll make it hard to the point where you're going to want to get on your horse and go, bye-bye, I'm done. I've got to find a creative solution to get out of here. Yeah, because even with this Five of Pentacles, it's not like I feel like they're kicking you to the curb or they're kicking you out into the cold. It's more the opposite. It's more like I feel like you may feel betrayed by certain coworkers, let down by certain coworkers or superiors.
But I also feel, as much as this sucks to impart to you, I also feel this could be a good change. This could definitely facilitate a positive change for you. Because we have been, we talked about, I think you were talking about it a little bit more like back in March. Different strategies you had, ideas for leaving, that I'm sure are still viable now. I sure hope they are. But change is always scary, I know. But even with your reading yesterday, girl, that beautiful reading that I gave you when we asked if your new goals, if they were like on the right path for you, and we got that like resoundingly beautiful answer of like yes, yes, yes. I think like building your skills and I think you can definitely find another opportunity. I'm a bit worried about going on your trip with all this going on. Yeah, I can see that. I also think that the trip would be good for you. But also, it's also money too. I understand that it can be chaotic if you're concerned about something. And then you take off. But I also feel like you do really need this respite. But I definitely understand where you're coming from there. It can be chaotic. But I wouldn't, I wouldn't worry about it per se, but definitely something I guess to keep into consideration there. Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Wendy. I really appreciate you, and I hope I brought you clarity there. That's where I'm going back and forth. I do need this trip to heal and inspire me. Yeah, I really think you do. I really think you do. I think it would like be a perfect like reboot button on your brain. Like we all need them every once in a while. Just a nice reset. And I think that would be good for you. Yeah. But I do also understand the hesitation too. I'm looking at the side window, and I had the window open and I was just like standing in the breeze, and there was a bat who almost flew right in my face. And I love bats, I love bats. They're so cute. But I'm good on one flying right into my face or into my domicile. I am good on that. Thank you so much, Wendy, for your donation, love. You wanted to ask another question? With everything that's going on with work, should I continue to stay away from Samuel or reach out to help? Angels, Master, Spirit Guides, with everything that's going on with Wendy's work, should she stay away from Samuel? Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides, should Wendy stay away from Samuel with everything that's going on with work? Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides, should Wendy stay away from Samuel with going on at her work? Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides, should Wendy stay away from Samuel with everything that's going on at her work? Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides, should Wendy stay away from Samuel with everything that's going on at her work? Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides, should Wendy stay away from Samuel with everything that's going on with her work? Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides, should Wendy stay away from Samuel with everything that's going on with her work? Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides, should Wendy stay away from Samuel with everything that's going on with her work? Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides, should Wendy stay away from Samuel with everything that's going on with her work? Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides, should Wendy stay away from Samuel with everything that's going on with her work? 5 of Cups reversed. The Lovers reversed. Knight of Swords reversed. 9 of Wands reversed. And 3 of Pentacles reversed. Notice how I didn't ask if I just wanted to ask it in one question, because you asked, should I stay away from him or should I help him? And if you stay away from him, there's no way that you can help him. So I didn't want to ask both questions. I knew that if it answered in the affirmative for if you should stay, or negative that you shouldn't stay away from him, that it would imply they would likely want you to help. But look at this girl. 3 of Pentacles reversed. No more collaboration with him. 3 of Pentacles is a collaborative work effort. No longer should you continue working with him. You've set boundaries now. I think you've done the work that you need to do. You've done all the help. You've provided all the help that you can. The romantic element of it is just, it's sullied things. If you were to try to help him, I don't know how well he'd even be able to focus on your efforts. He would be so preoccupied with thinking about you guys and what didn't come to be. If you were to help him out, it would leave you with feelings of loss, of regret, questioning whys. It would, I don't want to say it would inevitably rake up a bunch of not good emotions and feelings, but it's likely to do so. It wouldn't be in either his best interest, but especially not in your best interest, to continue working with him in a collaborative way. Like, you literally have the collaborative work card here reversed. Like, no, there's. I remember the first question we asked for you about him was, can I trust Samuel? And the card said yes, but with a caveat. It will come with strings attached. I'm afraid that it'll bring up feeling. Exactly. That's what Spirit's saying. They're not saying, they don't want to promise you that it's going to rake up bad feelings, but it's likely going to. It's likely going to do that. The Love is reversed, and the Knight of Swords reverse is most likely going to do that. They don't want to promise that because that's like a self-fulfilling prophecy, or not a self-fulfilling prophecy, but a spirit-fulfilling prophecy. They don't want to say that, but it is likely to, and I hear them, just based on the past and what's happened. This tells me everything. If you were to not stay away from him and to try and help him again, it wouldn't result in anything that would benefit either of you. It wouldn't benefit the project. I don't want to say like he's got it, he's good, but he's. I think at this point, I think he's gotten all the help he needs, and I don't think it would be a disservice. I don't think it would be doing a disservice to you, project-wise or work-wise, to not help him. I think you've done everything there that he can, utilize. Like, I'm sure there's maybe a little bit more. You're a very bright woman with a lot to offer and a lot of great solutions. But I think because the project's almost over, I think you've likely offered those great solutions that you have. you know. Yeah, it wouldn't help. And furthermore, if you did have additional solutions or, you know, ideas to help him with, I don't know if he would listen or take, sorry, there's a flyer around here. I don't know if he would listen or take the advice or implement it, you know? So, yeah, that's what I'm seeing there. He's just, because, yeah, and it could also, yeah, result in disappointment too, especially if he weren't to listen or take into account, you know, something that you're trying to help him with. That would be hurtful in more than one way. Well, thank you very, very much, Wendy. I really, really appreciate you. Good. I was gonna say he leave. Okay, so one more week. So he leaves on what, on next Thursday then? Want to just leave now? You don't know exactly when? Yeah. Soon though. I know. I did think about that. It did pop into my head. I'm like, let's hope they don't extend it again, because that's happened. Ay. Yeah, it's what a messy situation. And you did nothing. Guy's just a weirdo. I'm going to keep looking for a new job, but planning for my trip. That's what's up, Wendy. That's what's up. Yeah, looking onwards and forwards and upwards. Yeah, you know, plan for this trip that, you know, you're taking. Tighten up the details. And yeah, look for another job. I know there's another great opportunity out there for you. And I would love to see you living in Europe. Honestly, I could definitely see it. And I think you said you had family in France, right? And you don't have to necessarily live in France, but, you know, Europe is great because it's like, you know, the countries are all so close to each other. It's so convenient. Sorry, trying to get things plugged in. Helps a little bit. So I have been on for 90 minutes. So I will be on for at least another half an hour, depending on how things are. Yeah. So the queue is currently open, everybody. Whoever is next to donate will be the next person who I read for. If you have a question, please let me know. I will not be on tomorrow. Not likely. I will likely not be on tomorrow. Kelly. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you? That's good. Good to hear. It's almost the weekend, so that's always good too. Where's your next career move? I could definitely answer that for you. All my donation information is pinned at the top of the chat. It's also body of the chat as well, and in the description of the video. But I could definitely answer that question. Yeah. It is. Oh, welcome. Thank you so much for your subscription, Kelly. Thank you so much. Hey, Amanda. Bird. Who's that? Bird, how are you doing, girl? Good to see you. How are you, love? How are you doing? Oh, I gotta plug in my laptop. Okay. Oh, did you stream today? I don't usually, I went on a little earlier than I normally do today because I'm in the desert right now, and I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. Yeah, I'm in the desert and down Southern California, and it's really beautiful. I'm leaving tomorrow morning, and I'm gonna do because it cools down obviously in the evening. I'm gonna do a little walk about the desert. Yeah, good stuff. How are you, love? How was your live stream? When did you live stream? Did you just end now? I know. I love the desert so much. I really, really do. It's so magical out here. The energies are so wonderful. I was on for about an hour and started at 7 Eastern. Okay. Legit. Yeah, it's been a little slow for the past like half hour or so, but it was pretty steady about the first hour. Sometimes I stay on for a minimum of 120 minutes. Sometimes I get stragglers at the end. I don't know if it's because I'm on Pacific time or what, but it's just it's what I do. Unless I have somewhere that I need to be, which I don't right now. But I'm getting dehydrated. I need some juice. Stragglers. Yeah, well, sometimes I figure it's usually East Coast people or Pacific Coast people, actually, West Coast people, and maybe they get off work a little later and they see I'm online. It's happened a lot of times, actually. It happened a couple times last week. I had almost like no one on for like 2 hours, stayed on 2 hours, and then right at that 120-minute point, I had like 2 hours worth of clients. So just goes to show you never can tell. And I think I told you about the other website that I'm on, the psychic website, the third-party website that I'm on. They have me featured this week as one of their new psychics, and so far so okay. Thought there'd be a few more people. But I gave a reading to a young lady last week, and I knew she was gonna leave a bad review, because I didn't tell her what she wanted to hear. It was audio, and she had a very kind tone of voice, but I could tell she wasn't satisfied. She said she broke up with her dude, and reason why was because they were not. She felt that they were in two different places in life. Blah blah blah. And her question was, will he reach out to me after a month? And that's the last thing she said to him. And we got the I got the Eight of Wands reverse for his intentions. So I had to explain, I'm sorry, it doesn't look like he's going to reach out to you in the near future. And so I explained why. The Eight of Wands reverse, it's no communication, at least not in the foreseeable future. And her review was, really nice lady, but terrible reader. Basically, it felt like I was getting a tarot explanation on YouTube. I'm like, honey, I know that if that Eight of Wands was upright, and I had told you he was going to call you back, he wouldn't have left that review, but okay. Like, I could hear it in the tone of her voice, too, because she was like, because I told her, like, flat out, like, not likely going to call you, like, at least in the near future. And then she asked again, like, so he's not going to talk to me? He's not going to call me? I'm like, well, not, like, soon. It doesn't look like he's going to reach out to you. We can ask specific, that's, like, because we did thoughts, feelings, and intentions. I was like, we can ask that specifically if you want. She's like, no, I think we're a good fit. I'm like, yeah, I don't think so either. But isn't that so funny? Like, basically, if it's good news, I know she wouldn't have left that. I know she wouldn't have left that. And I was describing the card for good reason. I told her what I saw. She asked why, so I explained thoroughly. Did my best. But Jessica made a very good point. When people read the reviews that are left on those channels for people, they often take into account the fact that the querent likely didn't get the answer that they wanted. And I've seen it on everybody else's. Everybody has reviews, good and bad, including myself. I have good reviews too. But some people are really unhinged. I mean, I'm not saying that the person who left my review was an unhinged person. I didn't get that sense. She just didn't want that answer. But I've seen some reviews left by people that are just like really unhinged. To the point where, yeah, I can only imagine that the person would like to defend themselves, but just can't in that situation. So I have been on for 115 minutes. That means I will be on for another 5 minutes, unless we have more readings. So if you do have a question that you would like to have answered, now would be a great time to make your donation to Forever Hold Your Peace. I will likely be doing a last call. Why not at the 2 hour mark? But just letting y'all know, we are reaching the end point here. Absolutely, girl. Yeah, we really do need to catch up for sure. Sorry, can't see this hand, but for sure. We need to talk, absolutely, and we need to figure something out. I'd love to do something with you, like, collab or something. Well, you have a wonderful rest of your night, Miss Bird. Thank you so much for showing up, and yeah, much love and light to you. Hi, Kiki B. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes, this is I don't do free readings. But all my donation information can be found just at the top of the chat and in the body of the chat as well, and also in the information. Thank you. Alright, so it's that time of night. I'm going to do a last call for all donations tonight. If you have a question you would like to have answered, please let me know and I will take care of you. Thank you. Yeah, I likely will not be on tomorrow. That I can say. I likely not be on tomorrow. Last call, everybody, for all donations tonight. Last call, thank you. Hello, RR, welcome. If you have a question, now would be the time to make a donation. I'm just about to close out, but I'm happy to answer a question if you have one. Last call, everybody, tonight for any and all donations. If you have a question you'd like me to answer for you, please let me know. Otherwise, I will likely not be on tomorrow. Alright, it looks like everyone is happy and taken care of. Thank you all so much, and I will see you again shortly. Bye!